Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've never seen anything like this. If what I'm hearing right now is 1% true, and trust me, I've got sources deep inside the NFL, it changes everything you thought you knew about the NFL landscape for 2026. This isn't just another rumor feeding the offseason hype train. No, what I'm about to reveal is possibly one of the most explosive, game-changing moves that could redefine the entire NFC. And believe me when I say, what I'm about to break down might be the biggest secret in professional football that's about to come to light, and it's still being kept under wraps with military-grade secrecy. But before I unveil this bombshell, this potential seismic shift, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and turn on those notifications. Because you're about to get insider info that could reshape your entire understanding of what's coming next. For the true insiders, those who want to be on the cutting edge, the signals are converging and the pieces are falling into place. But trust me, what I'm about to reveal isn't just a move, it's a statement. A statement that's projected to shake the NFL to its core. Only the select few truly get what's happening behind the scenes, and right now, the walls of secrecy are starting to crack. Do you have the courage to see it all? Then stay locked in, because what I'm about to tell you is hotter than anything else you'll hear this offseason. Now let's dive into what's happening in the shadows, what the insiders are whispering, and why the New York Giants, under their new head coach John Harbaugh, could be on the verge of creating a domino effect so massive that it will forever alter the balance of power in the NFL. First, let's talk about the player at the center of it all, Brandon Graham. Yes, Brandon Graham, the legendary veteran DE from the Philadelphia Eagles, might just be the missing piece that propels the Giants into a new era of dominance. You heard that right. The same Graham who's etched his name in Philly's history with iconic moments like that strip sack from Super Bowl LII. If there's one thing I know from my years scouting and analyzing, it's that right now, a perfect storm is brewing. And Graham's name is floating in the eye of that storm. But why? Why would a 37-year-old star, a guy who's already achieved more than most players dream of, be the man to change a franchise in turmoil? Because, folks, behind the scenes, this isn't about age. It's about leadership, legacy, and the ultimate chess move in the NFL's cold, calculated game. And I'm here to tell you, this isn't just speculation. There are whispers from NFL front offices, from agents, from insiders who swear this is happening. Hold tight, because I'll walk you through every piece of this puzzle. From the secret negotiations, the blueprint of why Graham fits better than anyone could have expected, to the trade mechanics that could make this happen almost overnight. This is the kind of move that could elevate the Giants from mediocrity to playoff contenders almost instantly. But first, let's analyze what the New York Giants are really missing, what their current deficiencies are, and how a vet like Graham could be the solution they're secretly hunting for. Ready? Okay, here we go. Imagine a team that finished 2025 with a wrecked defense, hemorrhaging points and sacks, unable to mount any consistent pass rush against the league's elite. The Giants, under Brian Daboll's troubled leadership, struggled to get consistent pressure on quarterbacks, got gashed on the run, and let talented offenses run rampant through their secondary. The numbers don't lie. New York's defense ranked 26th in sacks, 21st in pressures, and their run defense was among the bottom 5 in the league. Their front four was decimated by injuries and aging veterans, and the lack of a dynamic pass rusher has long been their Achilles heel. Now let's get a little granular here. Watching the film from 2025, it's clear. The Giants' edge rushers outside of Kayvon Thibodeaux simply weren't enough. Thibodeaux showed flashes of brilliance, but he couldn't carry the entire pass rush on his back. Opposing teams doubled him, chipped him, or simply schemed away from him because the Giants lacked a true veteran presence who could consistently threaten the pocket. And that's where Brandon Graham's name becomes not just relevant but essential. Graham's film from last season is a masterclass in veteran positioning, explosive first steps, and clutch plays. Even at 37, Graham's burst off the edge is still elite. His get-off remains one of the fastest among DEs with a 1.52 10-yard split, an eye-popper for a player with nearly 2 decades of wear and tear. He constantly wins with his hands, using his veteran savvy to defeat blocks, and his motor is relentless. In 2024, until injury cut his season short, Graham recorded 3.5 sacks in 12 games, but his impact was much deeper. His QB pressures, averaging nearly 1.6 per game, disrupted offenses, forced hurried throws, and created turnovers. His strip sack on Tom Brady in Super Bowl LII is legendary. But what most people overlook is how he's consistently been a game wrecker in critical moments for the Eagles. His leadership is second to none. Guys like Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and even young stars like Nolan Smith have spoken openly about Graham's mentorship and the intangible boost he provides in the locker room. And here's a key point. The Eagles are in a salary cap crunch. They're about to undergo a major retooling, especially on defense with younger talents emerging. Graham's veteran leadership would be highly prized by a team like the Giants, who are desperate for a potent pass rusher and a locker room glue guy as they navigate the early stages of their rebuild under Harbaugh. Now think about it. Graham wants one more shot at a ring, and with his legendary status, he's probably not ego-driven. He's looking for a team that's close, hungry, and ready to unleash his talents once again, even if just for a year or two. The Giants, with their new coaching staff, are vastly different from the Eagles, harboring a new defensive scheme that emphasizes versatility, speed, and relentless edge pressure. Graham's style aligns perfectly with Harbaugh's physical, aggressive philosophy. Imagine Graham lining up across from your offensive tackles, twisting, bull rushing, and creating chaos in crucial moments. His veteran instincts mean he still reads the game better than most 20-year-olds, and his ability to generate pressure on third-and-long situations could be exactly what the Giants need to turn their defensive fortunes around. Now, how could this trade actually happen? That's the question. The Eagles, currently reloading their roster, are keenly aware of Graham's value, both on and off the field. They could move him for a mid-round pick, perhaps a conditional third or fourth round, especially if they're eyeing younger pass rushers or draft capital to accelerate their rebuild. Graham's contract. It's a one-year deal, likely in the range of $2.4 million in base salary, perfect for teams looking for veteran infusion without maxing out the cap. Philly could be motivated, especially if they see the Giants as a direct competitor in the NFC and want to weaken their rivals' front. The Giants. They've got the cap space, draft picks, and a newfound desire to shake up their roster. They could package a day 2 pick and perhaps a young player on the roster, or even a late-round pick plus a promising developmental player. The logistics are complex but not impossible, especially given the current NFL climate of high-value veteran trades and cap flexibility. But here's the kicker. Beyond just the mechanics, Graham's fit is undeniable. Scheme-wise, he's a perfect match. The Giants' new defensive coordinator, Dennard Wilson, thrives on versatile, disruptive edge players who can bend, rush, and drop into coverage if needed. Graham's ability to play both a traditional outside rushing role and occasional interior alignments makes him invaluable. Plus, his leadership would elevate the entire defensive locker room, potentially transforming a unit that struggled in 2025 into one of the league's most feared. Think about what this could mean for the Giants' future. A veteran like Graham could set the tone for their rebuilt defense, mentoring young stars like Kayvon Thibodeaux and Azeez Ojulari. They'd finally have that disruptive force they've lacked since the early days of the franchise's resurgence. And for the Eagles, they'd recoup draft capital, free up cap space, and allow their young pass rushers to develop without the veterans' cap hit. But I'm not just speculating. Insiders tell me this move is being discussed at the highest levels. And if it happens, it could set off a ripple effect that will send shockwaves through the NFL. Think about the timing. The Giants just hired Harbaugh, known for his aggressive physical teams that emphasize defense. What better way to make an instant statement than to add a player of Graham's caliber and experience? And remember, this isn't just about football. It's about legacy, about who's willing to make the boldest move to claim their spot at the top. Graham returning to the NFC East. That's the kind of storyline that books itself into NFL history. It's about redemption, about legacy, and about a franchise hungry for respect. Now, to project the impact. Imagine Graham in a Giants uniform, wreaking havoc on divisional rivals, mentoring the next generation of pass rushers, and being the heartbeat of a team that's determined to emerge from the shadows of mediocrity. With Harbaugh's blue-collar mentality, this could be a match made in football heaven. But remember, this is just the beginning. The real story, the one that could change everything, has yet to fully unfold. Watch the NFL Network, keep your ear to the ground, and prepare for one of the most shocking, game-changing trades in recent memory. And if you think this is all just a rumor, think again. Because the moves you see off the field often dictate the history books on the field. What's coming next for Brandon Graham, the Giants, and the entire NFC? I'll tell you, it's bigger than all of us. Get ready. The next chapter is about to be written, and it's one you will never forget.